If you remember Christmas lights reflected on trifle bowls, foil-wrapped chocolates rattling in tins, and custard simmering on the hob, you know British holiday desserts were pure magic. Number 7 lived permanently in the freezer. Number 4, families guarded it like treasure. And number 1 carried the weight of tradition. Fingers dusted with icing sugar, wobbly sponge cakes waiting for someone to cut the Christmas cake. If that's your childhood, this one's for you. Number 10, bread and butter pudding. The warm-up act. Bread and butter pudding was the dessert that made cold kitchens feel human again. Slices of buttered bread layered with dried fruit, sprinkled with sugar, and soaked in custard before baking. It came out golden on top, soft underneath, warm all the way through. Kitchens smelled of nutmeg and vanilla, even when families couldn't afford more expensive treats. It was practical, filling, and perfect for stretching leftovers. As it faded from weeknight routines, we lost the quiet comfort of scraping the crispy top with a spoon. Bread and butter pudding kept things simple. But the treat coming next brought a playful roll of nostalgia. Number 9, jam roly-poly. The old-school classic. Jam roly-poly was the steamed pudding that felt like a hug. Sweet pastry rolled with sticky jam, wrapped in cloth and steamed until soft and sweet sliced thick. It hit the plate with that familiar swirl of red. Always served with hot custard. Always. It was cheap, cheerful, and perfect for cold nights when ovens worked overtime. As steamed puddings slipped from modern kitchens, we lost that feeling of uncovering something handmade and warm. Jam roly-poly brought its own charm, but the next dessert was saved for nights that felt especially indulgent. Number 8, Angel Delight, the instant treat. Angel Delight made Christmas evenings feel modern. A packet whisked with milk that transformed into a light, fluffy mousse in minutes. Kids loved it because they could make it themselves. Parents loved it because it was cheap and quick. Strawberry, chocolate, butterscotch, every flavour had its fans. It chilled in the fridge beside the trifle, waiting for someone to sneak a spoonful before dinner. As fewer families kept it in the cupboard, we lost a bit of that playful, make-it-yourself excitement. Angel Delight was instant happiness, while the next dessert arrived straight from the freezer. Number 7, Arctic Roll, the freezer showstopper. Arctic Roll was the dessert every child prayed was hiding in the freezer. A log of vanilla ice cream wrapped in sponge and jam. Simple, perfect, unbeatable, sliced into rounds. It landed on plates like frosty little wheels. It felt festive even in July, but at Christmas it earned pride of place. As freezer aisles changed and families leaned toward new sweets, Arctic Roll became a rare sight. Its disappearance meant losing a dessert that made even adults grin. Arctic Roll was frozen nostalgia. But the next dish warmed plates with toffee-rich comfort. Number 6, Sticky Toffee Pudding, the toffee-covered classic. Sticky toffee pudding was pure winter warmth. A dark sponge made with dates, drenched in hot toffee sauce, often with extra custard poured over the top. Rich, dense, and comforting. The kind of dessert that fogged up windows. Families made it for Christmas gatherings or saved it for the special nights between. As homemade puddings declined, we lost the ritual of soaking sponge until it glistened. Sticky toffee pudding wrapped winter in sweetness. But the next dessert arrived, rolled in chocolate. Number 5, Yule log, the festive centerpiece. The Yule log brought theatre to the table. A chocolate sponge rolled with cream and covered in icing or ganache, decorated to look like a snow-dusted log. Kids loved the swirl when it was sliced. Adults appreciated how far it stretched. It looked impressive, even without fancy ingredients. As homemade versions faded in favour of store-bought cakes, some of the magic slipped away. The Yule log delivered spectacle. But the dessert that follows owned every celebration. Number 4, Trifle, the layered tradition. Trifle was Christmas in a bowl. Sponge fingers, jelly, fruit, custard and whipped cream layered into a glass dish. Every household had its own version, and every layer mattered. The jelly wobble alone could silence a room. Spoons clinked against glass as families dug down to reach the sponge at the bottom. When homemade trifles declined, so did that moment when everyone argued over who got the first scoop. Trifle layered memories as much as flavour. And the next dessert defined December itself. Number 3, mince pies, the Christmas essential. Mince pies carried the essence of Christmas in every bite. Buttery pastry filled with spiced dried fruit, baked until golden. They appeared in tins, on plates, in lunch boxes, everywhere. Families claimed their favourites: shop-bought, homemade, or bakery fresh. Warmed slightly and dusted with icing sugar, they scented entire rooms. As flavours shifted and seasonal ranges changed, mince pies became more of a fleeting December treat. Mince pies were the heartbeat of Christmas, but the next dessert brought a layer of marzipan that divided rooms. Number 2, Christmas cake, the icing-covered icon. Christmas cake was tradition you could slice. A dense fruit cake covered in marzipan and icing, often decorated with festive scenes. Families poured weeks of preparation into baking, wrapping, storing and icing it. Some loved the almond hit of marzipan, others peeled it off the moment slices were served. As fewer people baked them at home, we lost the ritual of unwrapping a cake that had been waiting all month. Christmas cake stood proud, but the final dessert carried the weight of centuries. Number 1, Christmas pudding, the grand finale. Christmas pudding was the ceremony, a dark, rich sphere packed with dried fruit, spices steamed for hours, and brought to the table with a sense of theatre. Families poured brandy over the top and set it alight, blue flames dancing as everyone leaned in. Coins hidden inside added excitement, and sometimes a chipped tooth. The smell of spices filled every corner of the house. As the ritual faded, we lost a shared moment that defined the holiday. Christmas pudding ended the day with warmth and tradition. It wasn't just dessert, it was Christmas. So that's 10 British desserts that made the holidays magical. They weren't just sweets, they were the rituals, the warmth, the family moments that shaped December. If you remember waiting for flames to die down, arguing over slices, or sneaking whipped cream from the trifle bowl, share this with someone who remembers the same, because even as recipes changed and favourites disappeared, the memories still taste exactly like Christmas.